There's obviously a lot of cancelled FNaF fan games. You already knew that before you clicked on the video, and there's quite a few that would have changed the world of FNaF fan games had they not been cancelled. One of the best examples of this would be Those Nights at Fredbear's. The game was made by Nixon. This was Nixon's first attempt at making a FNaF fan game. At the time he was known for his FNaF SFM animations. In this video I'll be going over the game's development, what the game would have been like and the impact it would have had it not been cancelled. Those Nights at Fredbear's began development in May 2015. As the name would suggest, the game was going to take place at Fredbear's family diner, which was quite a novel concept at the time, as there hadn't been many FNaF fan games themed around Fredbear's. The game originally used I6NIS's Golden Freddy and Bonnie models. Bonnie was recolored yellow to look like Spring Bonnie. There were 8 teaser images released for the game. One teaser showed Fredbear and Spring Bonnie covered in blood that says once old, once gold. Another one is an image of what appears to be an underground tunnel. There's also one which shows a player holding a tablet where you can see Spring Bonnie in the camera. There's also a teaser that shows Springtrap in the back room. Another teaser shows a dark hallway. Another teaser shows a different part of the underground tunnel. Another one shows Spring Bonnie at the diner, presumably walking towards the player. And the last one shows an underground location with a hole on the ceiling with light coming through. There was also 3 teaser videos released. The first video starts off by saying that Nixon is working on a FNaF fan game that'll be made in Unreal Engine. It then shows a player walking around the diner turning off the lights. They can then be seen holding a tablet where you can see Spring Bonnie. The next video was titled Exhibit 1. The video has a static effect on the screen. It shows a player walking around holding a tablet. Towards the end, the static intensifies before you get jump scared by Fredbear. The last video is called Exhibit 2, which also has static on the screen. This once again shows a player walking around the location. It shows them hiding under the desk. Static then covers the whole screen. It then cuts back to the player walking around. You then hear screaming as Spring Bonnie run towards the player before jump scaring them.
No!
In June 2015, the game restarted development. Before we discuss that though, let's talk about the original version that I showed the teasers for. So there isn't much information on what the game was going to be about. By the looks of it though, the player is an investigator who is going to Fredbear's family diner in an abandoned state. It looks like this version of Fredbear's had an underground tunnel system to it, as some of the teasers definitely aren't at the diner. The teasers Exhibit 1 and 2 I think are supposed to have been recorded on a tape, and maybe you would have watched them at some point in the game. The only thing we really know is that it would have been a free roam game and the animatronics would have chased you around. This was actually a very original idea at the time. As far as my knowledge goes, only one other FNaF fan game at this point had done something like this, that being Fazbear Nightmare, which was released as a demo in January 2015. While the game was very popular upon its release, it had very little impact on FNaF fan games. This is likely because no other FNaF fan game developers at the time knew how to make a game like that. Simply put, it came out too early. FNaF fan games didn't really have a fan base, and the Return to Freddy's 1 was considered one of the best FNaF fan games. When Those Nights at Fredbear's was first announced, it didn't get much attention, and the original uploads as well as the game drop page have been taken down. It's unknown exactly why the game was redone, but it's assumed that Nixon wasn't liking how the game was turning out. Those Nights at Fredbear's was still going to be a free roam game, however it would look drastically different to how it was originally supposed to look like. The Fredbear and Spring Bonnie models were now made by Everything Animations. The new version had 6 teaser images. One of them showed the map of a location. Another one showed the bathroom. Another one shows a dark room, which I'm guessing is near the entrance. Another one shows curtains with an animatronic behind it. Another one shows the back of Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. And the last one shows a golden plush trap that says, "He is your best friend." 3 teaser videos are posted. All 3 of the original uploads are still up. The first trailer was released on the 7th of August 2015. It shows parts of Fredbear's family diner while displaying text. "Welcome to your source of fun. It's new. It's just mistakes. And it's all under control. Right?" It then cuts to a player hiding behind a wall. It then shows Fredbear running towards a player. Right before he gets them though, the trailer ends saying, "See you soon." As you've probably noticed, there are 2 different Fredbear animatronics seen in the trailer. The one who runs at you is a lot bigger than the one seen in the poster. When the trailer dropped, the game received an immense level of hype. Many big YouTubers commented, those being Dorko, Razbowski, 8-Bit Gaming and Ayutum, but most notably, Scott Cawthon himself commented, saying that the game looks awesome. The second trailer was released on the 9th of September 2015. It starts off with a camera zooming out on a monitor which shows Fredbear and Spring Bonnie on stage. While this is happening, it plays a phone call from a distressed mother.
Hello? I was wondering if you could help me. My daughter, Lily, she was at a birthday party at your diner and she hasn't come back yet. I'm really worried. She was meant to be home about an hour ago, so could you check to see if she's still there? She's about 6, brown hair and a ponytail, green eyes. Hello? Is someone there?
Then a man who I presume is the villain speaks.
Oh, don't worry. She's here. And she's alright.
It then shows a video of 100% unedited gameplay. The gameplay shows a player trying to hide from Spring Bonnie, who is chasing them. It shows you had an office where you can view the cameras and close the doors. The trailer ends with a player getting jump scared by Spring Bonnie before saying, "See you soon." On the 19th of October 2015, the final trailer for Those Nights at Fredbear's was released. Like the first trailer, it shows different parts of the location while displaying text. Hello, and welcome back to your source of fun. It's even better now. You will enjoy your time. Just don't come too close. It's all about your safety. It then cuts to the player viewing the cameras before running out the office. It then says, and don't forget live support, and our lovely and safe animatronics. It then cuts to the player running away from an animatronic. It also shows them closing curtains, which is how you deal with a certain animatronic. Then it shows glitched text. It's hard to really understand what it says. It then cuts back to the player running. They run into the office and close the door. Then the lights go off. They leave the office only using a flashlight to see. Then Fredbear jump scares them. It then once again says, "See you soon." In October 2015, Nixon began working on another free-roam FNaF fan game called Unreal Shift at Freddy's, which was cancelled on an unknown date for unknown reasons. He then started working on another FNaF fan game that you may have heard of. It's called The Joy of Creation, which is going to be a FNaF 4 fan game. In late November 2015, Nixon's GameDrop was hacked, and the GameDrop page for Those Nights at Fredbear's was deleted. When Nixon got his account back, he decided to cancel Those Nights at Fredbear's. This is because he wasn't interested in the game anymore. On the 26th of March 2025, an alpha build for the game was found by Revenant Arts. This build was from the 4th of August 2015. This was a very early build which had no animatronic AI or objectives. The big Fredbear seen in the first trailer can be seen hiding in the curtains, so who would have been who you had to close the curtains for? Even though Those Nights at Fredbear's was cancelled, Nixon's future games The Joy of Creation and Those Nights at Rachel's carried over a lot of ideas from Those Nights at Fredbear's. Those Nights at Rachel's title was obviously taken from Those Nights at Fredbear's, and in the game you have to close the curtains to keep the thing away. Also, the monitor has a night vision look to it, just like the monitor in Those Nights at Fredbear's. Also, Patrick Richards, who voiced the phone guy in The Joy of Creation and Those Nights at Rachel's, appears in the second trailer.
But anyways, you can switch the security cameras using the arrow keys located on your keyboard on the desk. Oh, don't worry. She's here. And she's alright.
The Joy of Creation would end up getting cancelled but later revived from the 15th of May 2016 as a free-roam FNaF fan game, The Joy of Creation Reborn, which kick-started free-roam FNaF fan games. It would later become The Joy of Creation Story Mode, which is often considered to be one of the best FNaF fan games of all time. To answer the question of what would have happened if Those Nights at Fredbear's was finished, let's just say that it got released in November 2015. It's unknown exactly how much of the game was finished at the time of its cancellation, but we're at the final trailer and the game had been in development for 5 months, which was a very long development at the time. So I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say that it could have been released at that time had Nixon not lost motivation. Like I said, the free-roam aspect of the game was redone in The Joy of Creation Reborn, which already is one of the most influential FNaF fan games of all time. But here's the thing. If Those Nights at Fredbear's was finished, The Joy of Creation may have never gotten revived after its cancellation. This also means that The Joy of Creation story mode would have never been made, and that was a first console level quality FNaF fan game. This also means that the free roam trend could have started in late 2015 as opposed to mid 2016, or it might not have been as influential as Reborn. Obviously what would have happened if Those Nights at Fredbear's wasn't cancelled is all just down to speculation, but one thing that's clear though is that it would have changed FNaF fan games forever. However though, I'm not done talking about Those Nights at Fredbear's just yet. On the 17th of July 2018, on the first anniversary of the Joy of Creation story mode, Nixon did a behind the scenes and Q&A video of the game. At the end of the video, it showed a teaser for a reboot of Those Nights at Fredbear's. The teaser starts off by showing a dark hallway, then it shows a glow stick rolling on the floor. Then an unknown animatronic with purple eyes flashes on screen. On the 4th of November 2018, a teaser video titled There You Are was posted. It shows a player hiding from Spring Bonnie. Towards the end, the player picks up a glow stick. After that, they turn around and see that Spring Bonnie has found them. Then it ends. As you would expect, the game was going to look very different to how the 2015 version looked. Not much is known about what the game would have been like though. The game didn't get any more updates after the teaser video and it's now cancelled. It's not likely that another attempt at remaking the game will be made, but honestly, I'm not sure how well the game would even do if it came out today. It was a mind-blowing concept back in 2015, but now 10 years later, we've seen countless FNaF fan games like it. Oftentimes, if a highly anticipated FNaF fan game gets cancelled, someone will try and remake the game, and that's happened several times with Those Nights at Fredbear's. The oldest one was by Glitch5970, which was released in August 2016. There wouldn't be another attempt at remaking the game for a while after that. In April 2019, there was a remake by the Super Epic Gamer. Then in June 2019, there was a remake by Final Hours creator Aidan Kelly. And in August 2019, there was one by T-Seg, which is going to be a remake of the 2018 version instead of the 2015 one. Both Glitch5970 and T-Seg's versions appear to be lost. The most recent and most well-known remake is Those Nights at Fredbear's New Destiny, made by Rofny, which was complete in June 2024. Even after being cancelled almost a decade ago, Those Nights at Fredbear's still has a legacy, with many still being interested in what the game would have been like if it got finished. I would say Those Nights at Fredbear's would have probably had the biggest impact on FNaF had it been finished out of any other cancelled FNaF fan game. Had it been finished, the Joy of Creation Reborn, which is perhaps the most influential FNaF fan game of all time, wouldn't have existed, which also means story mode wouldn't have existed either. This could have either revolutionized FNaF fan games earlier or could have not been as big of a success as the Joy of Creation Reborn. But one thing that's certain is that FNaF fan games would not be the same today. And that's all I have to say about Those Nights at Fredbear's, so thank you for watching this video.